So first of all, we have here the Ten of Pentacles. And then we also have the King of Pentacles. These two cards in conjunction to one another or appearing in tandem, it usually denotes a situation where there is an escalation when it comes to your financial resources. For some of you, you might have recently gotten a raise, or you might be promised a raise. I feel like there might have been some hang-ups when it comes to this financial abundance, but the month of February is when things get released. Okay, so literally, there's like I'm hearing here a release of the floodgates so that financial abundance can come through. And if we look at this card, the water is dwindling here, right? So the crocodile, alligator, it's going back into the water source. And with this connotation, I feel like it just means, you know, the rains are coming. The time of abundance is coming into your life. You're no longer living in a dry, parched, scarce environment. I feel that, you know, scarcity is being kind of like, it's scarcity is moving into the past. And I feel like this can be emotional scarcity, financial scarcity for specifically for the way this card is coming out, where there's going to be a lot more water flowing in. There's going to be a lot more abundance. There will be things that are thriving and growing and coming back in to replenish this dry, parched, scorched environment, so that you're no longer going to live in a space of dryness and scarcity. Okay. Alligators can stay underwater for a very long period of time before they need to come up for air. And so I feel like this might have been a situation that was subsisting. It existed for quite some time. And I feel that, you know, you were biding your time. You were waiting for the rains to come. You were waiting for that abundance to come into your life. And I feel the month of February, something triggers it. And I feel it has a lot to do with the planetary placement, because now we are moving into an air sign of Aquarius for the month of February. And Aquarius is a fellow air sign. So basically, there's planetary placements. When the sun is in Aquarius, it's going to trine. It's going to make a very good placement to your sign. And so as a result of that, I feel that, you know, you have some blessings coming through for this month. Okay. So whatever financial resources you've been waiting on, we have here the Hangman, and this is a state of waiting, a state of suspension, a situation where there has been some type of a holdup. Something is like tied into the works and it's not being released. So I feel like for many of you, this could be physically property. Trying to release a property, like sell a property so that you can move into another property, trying to finalize a sale. And there might have been some type of contractual hangups. And I feel like for the month of February, things are clearing up. The way is paved for you so that you can, you know, achieve this financial abundance or this financial windfall that's coming through. And with this King of Pentacles imagery, this is a depiction of somebody who's escalating when it comes to their career, when it comes to their professional life, when it comes to the income generating projects or whatever it is they're taking on. This is somebody who's like a boss, okay? Who tells people what to do, when to do it, who oversees other people, who I guess as well they don't need to lift a finger. So I feel like you guys are in kind of this position. You don't need to lift a finger. You don't need to do the hard labor. You don't need to, you know, get your hands dirty. You're telling other people what to do. You're making these executive decisions, and other people are coming to you and, you know, I guess like you're appointing or you're assigning projects, assigning work, and you're overseeing the work. Okay, so this is somebody who is in a managerial role, who's in the upper echelon of either a company, an organization, or even someone who's self-employed. And as a result of it, I feel that you're reaping a lot of benefits as due to the escalation when it comes to your status, when it comes to your professional life, when it comes to even pay increases that goes along with this change or this escalation in your professional life. Okay, so we have some really great things coming into the picture. So on the money front, on the financial front, the month of February is going to be a little bit of a game changer for you. And I just want to say that, with additional responsibility and power, it also comes with, I guess, like, you're going to be heavily in the limelight. People will defer to your judgment. People will, constantly come and ask you for your professional opinion. And then people will also put you in really high regards, in that they might have trouble trusting what they think is right, and they defer to your judgment. And it is really important that your judgment is sound, right? So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, in that we're thrust into a position of power. And so we're in a position where we have to command others. We have to lead others. We have to steer others the right way. And so what we know, our knowledge base, becomes very important, because you're not in a position where you have to convince other people anymore. People are referring to, your expertise, or deferring to your judgment. And so you want to make sure that you have the whole story. You want to make sure that you are a credible source. And you want to make sure that whatever you say, you can kind of back it up, okay? Not that you have to defend your stance or convince others of your course of action, but you just need to make sure that with leadership capabilities, it comes with a lot of scrutiny as well, from, people who might be working above you, people that you're answering to. And so you want to make sure that your judgment is sound. You want to make sure that every argument that you have is based on logic, based on facts, and these facts can be backed up, can be used as evidence, because I do feel like you have to be very, very responsible towards the people that you're leading, towards the people that you're commanding, okay? So think of it as like, let's say we're going off to war, okay? And you're in command of like 1,000 soldiers. You want to make sure that you utilize your resources well. Where can I put these soldiers so that we can have like a very efficient victory? Where can I, strategically place people or use people, so that, use not in a bad way, but use as in utilize them to the best of their capabilities, so that we can achieve visible results. So I feel like there's a lot of planning. I feel like there's a lot of strategizing that's coming through for this month. I feel like manpower might be a little bit scarce. And so it's the scarcity coming through from this card. I feel like manpower might be very scarce. So you want to utilize each and every person to the best of your capabilities, based on what you know about their strengths and their weaknesses. Okay? So for example, you wouldn't put a medic on the front lines, right? You would have him serving in the reserve, so that people can come to him for medical treatment if they're wounded, right? So it's just a matter of knowing the people that you are assigning tasks to, knowing what they're really good at, and playing up on and utilizing and taking advantage of their skill sets, so that you can, have the outcome that you want, or even have the best optimal outcome, okay? Things are never going to be perfect, but we want to aim for efficiency, and we want to make sure. And here's another thing that just came in, so I just want to talk about it real quickly. It's about utilizing people based on their strengths and their weaknesses, right? So for example, you probably wouldn't want to put your best friend, who's not really good with interacting with people, to put him in a position where he has to interact with people, okay, even though he's your best friend. So needless to say, I feel like there might be an advice towards, erring on the side of caution when it comes to who you place in the limelight, because you might also, if all goes well, then that's great. But if things fail, you might be the one facing the scrutiny, okay? So that's what I'm seeing here. And I feel like you are very good at judging people's character. And a lot of the times too, anytime we are in an interpersonal situation with another person, whether we like them or whether we don't like them, I feel like, we are always a little bit biased when it comes to our true assessment of somebody's skills. And so just make sure that, your friendship, your interpersonal relationship with someone does not affect the way in which they are utilized in the work environment. Okay, so make sure that you really emphasize someone's strengths and use their strengths accordingly. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I hope that provides you with enough information, because I feel like there's room for cronyism here, but it doesn't have to be so. And there's a lot of scrutiny from the top down, so you want to be a little bit careful. Okay. But finances looks to be very stable. I feel that you're going to also be on your A game when it comes to your professional life. Okay. So with that out of the way, let's talk about, walking on eggshells. Okay. So first of all, I feel like there might have been some type of a recent misunderstanding, or like lack of communication, or even lack of meaningful communication between you and another person. You say one thing and they misinterpret and think you meant another. You say, or like they said something and you misinterpret and you think they meant another. Like it seems like communication is at, like, what do they call them? Like, it's like crisscrossed. Okay, so communication is not getting through between you and another person. And then I also feel like there's somebody here that might have been a little bit hurt by an interaction in the past that they had with you. And the energy is coming out here as the Queen of Cups. Sorry about that. So I was talking about this card. The person here, I have here the Queen of Cups. And this could be a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio. I'm not reading the sign so much anymore. What I feel is the energy of this person. I feel like this person is deeply, very, very, very sensitive. Okay, water signs are incredibly sensitive. But I also feel like, it doesn't even have to be a water sign. I feel like deep down, this person is incredibly sensitive. This is a person that likes to take care of other people, okay? They find joy and contentment when they can be of use, okay? So, like, they're very eager to take care of people. They're very eager to offer a lending hand. They're very eager to, offer a shoulder for anyone to lean on. So I feel like, they might oftentimes have been taken advantage of, okay? So it's someone who's very caring, who's very loving. They're also very deeply emotional, and I feel like they have a tough exterior about them. Okay, I'm looking at this, I guess, seal, walrus, whatever it is. It's and there's like a layer of blubber right underneath the skin. So I think of it as like armor. It's a necessity, because this person has been through a lot, and because they're so sensitive that over the years they've built up this tough exterior about them, and they try not to let things get to them. And I also feel like they might have been, taken advantage of quite a bit by other people because of their kindness. And because of that, they grow thick skin, and they're very cautious about who they invest their time in, who they invest their energy in, and they're making themselves available to. So this is a person that has been burned one too many times. And as a result of it, they're going into self-preservation mode. Okay. The Hermit energy. This is highly spiritual energy. Okay. And the card here, it says contemplation and wisdom. This is somebody who's very wise, like very, very wise. They understand human nature. They understand people's shortcomings. They are a very good judge of character as well. And I have a feeling here that there was something said, okay, between you and this person where I feel like they might have gotten angry, okay, over something you said, over something that you did. And they might have like in a fit of anger, they might not have sugarcoated what they wanted to say, so it came out wrong. Does that make sense? So it's not like they meant for it to come out that way, but I feel like it just came out wrong. And then I also feel like there might have been an exchange between you and this person. And keep in mind the energy could be vice versa, because I feel like it's the person coming to you. But then again, it could be the energies could be flipped. And I feel like somebody feels like the other person's not doing enough. Not doing enough in a relationship, not chipping in, not carrying the burden of the relationship, childcare, family, responsibilities in the home, like I just sense that somebody felt like emotionally that they were carrying the weight of the relationship. That's what it feels like to me. And somebody is pointing out these things. And I feel like it's a situation that might have created a rift between the two of you. I feel like they're upset. And so this whole concept about walking on eggshells, I feel like somebody here, potentially you're walking on eggshells with another person and you're biding your time. Um, I'm also sensing that this person, so just keep in mind, um, because the way the energy is coming out, I just feel like they have a lot, they over the years, they have repressed a lot of things, okay? A lot of things have been repressed under that layer of skin. So they might have felt a lot, but they never said it. They might have held on to resentment. They might have held on to grudges. And I don't feel like this is a petty person. I just feel like in any type of a relationship or interpersonal situation with another person, we know too much about the other person. There's always going to be grudges held. There will always be resentment. There will always be like discontent, right? But I feel like with this person, they've never expressed themselves in the past. They've never voiced their opinion. They've never, I guess, like let things go because everything gets trapped under that layer of fat. That's what I'm feeling. And so it can potentially become toxic. Okay. It's like harboring resentment. And then rather than talking about it, rather than saying, well, yesterday you did this and I was really unhappy with that, they didn't talk about what happened yesterday. They pick on something else and they want to talk about that when in fact that's not the root of the problem. So I feel like they're addressing symptoms or talking about the symptoms of their discontent or their grudges or whatever it is they've been repressing, and they're not really addressing the issues. And so when you interact with them, it can be a little bit frustrating. And I feel like they know how to kind of poke at you where it hurts, or they know what to say that really gets under your skin. There's a whole concept here about, under the skin, getting under the layers and needing to expose things, needing to really talk about things, like talking about, for example, that elephant in the room. Rather than walking on eggshells, skirting around the issue, let's just talk about it. Let's just, slice it open and bring it out into the surface and talk about it and, heal from it. I feel like there has been a lot of back and forth, a lot of grudges held, a lot of like skirting around issues, ignoring issues, sweeping things under the rug in your interaction with this person. And now it's at a point where things are starting to implode. And I just feel like the interaction between the two of you could be a little bit toxic.